fields at Tara, Chinchilla and Kogan. We talked to the local people who lived there. They were all happy to tell us about the terrible effects that coal seam gas mining and fracking has had on their health and their lives in general. We weren't able to meet with Debbie Orr because her next door neighbours told us that she was at the hospital the day we were there with her youngest child, and that all 6 of her children, along with children from 26 other local families, are suffering a contamination that no one can explain or take responsibility for. But a contamination and an illness that just happened to start when the coal seam gas drilling and fracking started, and is consistent with the symptoms being suffered overseas by children living in areas where coal seam gas and fracking has been in full production for over a decade. We saw the Condamine River, which bubbles like a spa, and still no one will take responsibility, telling us it's a natural occurrence which just happened to start when the coal seam gas drilling and fracking started. Thank you. Thank you. The majority of the coal seam gas mining around Tara, Chinchilla and Kogan is done back from the roads and out of view, along a dirt track and behind the trees, so that you really have to know what you're looking for to find it. But around Miles, Roma and Wandoan, there are drilling rigs everywhere, massive holding ponds, compressor stations, thousands of pipes stacked everywhere, all brazenly visible from the road. It's absolutely huge, and all of these towns are, the roads, linking all of these towns are jam-packed with huge industrial mining trucks and water carriers which operate 24/7. We travelled to Mount Isa, where a huge coal mine is at the end of the main street in the CBD, spewing coal smoke directly onto the population as they go about their daily shopping. The negative health impacts of the people of the town are documented on the internet. At Charleville, we visited the Cosmos Observatory and saw how the planet evolved, and looked at the stars and the other planets and learnt all about space travel. At Cairns, we took a glass-bottom boat to Green Island to view the spectacular Great Barrier Reef. The world-listed UNESCO protected reef is the most diverse living organism and ecosystem in the world. Mining companies plan to remove 3 million cubic metres of the reef and the seabed to build the largest coal export terminal worldwide. Unless stopped, we're going to lose the world's most truly precious gem to a temporary and damaging mining solution. We drove through Gladstone and Curtis Island, where there's been no attempt at all to disguise the absolute destruction everywhere. I could not believe that humans could have such little regard for the land, the environment and the planet. Probably the highlight of our trip would have been the 5 hours that we spent at Steve Irwin's Australia Zoo. As well as being a tribute to Steve's much too short life, it focuses on his work saving animals and precious wildlife, not only protecting them but also ensuring that they have an environment the environment they occupy is kept pristine for them to inhabit and enjoy a future. Before the daily midday show at the Crocosseum, Bindi, Bob and their mother Terry spoke to the audience digitally on a huge overhead screen about the destruction being caused to this country and the environment by big mining. Once we reached the Gold Coast, I met up with some Lock the Gate friends and joined them in a peaceful protest in front of local Liberal candidate Steve Siobo's office in Chevron Island. Wonderful, caring people who have formed a chapter of the Knitting Nanas. The Knitting Nanas are growing in strength and are about to release a video about their activities. Senior people sitting outside politicians' offices or mining companies' offices, knitting in yellow and black. And when anyone wants to know, hey, what's this all about, they very swiftly receive either a DVD or a flyer and they're asked to sign a petition. We're extremely lucky today to have some Knitting Nanas with us who have travelled all the way from Lismore to be here. Thanks to Anne and Francis for such a spectacular effort. And if we're lucky, and I think we might be, either one or both of them are going to talk to us today and tell us more. Younger people are forming or joining Gals Against Gas or burlesque babe groups, cheer squads, dressed up and performing dance routines to promote the anti-CSG movement. At Port Macquarie, we visited Sea Acres and we walked around the treetop, learning all about the rainforest and how the vegetation coexists and regenerates. When we got to Byron Bay, we drove 20 kilometres to Bangalow and attended an Aussies Against Fracking event at the Bangalow Bowling Club. There were over 300 people present. Some I knew from Facebook or the May Day rally last year, but most I didn't know, and they welcomed us all the way from the Shoalhaven. Artists all entertained for free. Swamp Stompers, Little Lil, Kevin Borich, Wolfmother Leo Sayer, and many others spoke by electronic hookup. Celebrities from all fields, stating their anti-CSG message on a huge overhead screen. I met Dwayne Pratsky, who stood up and spoke about his life living in a gas field. He told us all that he owns a certificate of title over a 100-acre property that is worthless. In spite of the sombre message of coal seam gas and fracking, which had united everyone, it was a night of music, dancing and celebration. Celebration of community and the camaraderie that had brought everyone together in this common fight. Across the country, people are organising concerts like the one we attended, peaceful protests like our protest here today, picnics, stalls, bike rides, horse rides, human signs and rallies, all kinds of events to highlight the anti-coal seam gas cause, to raise awareness and keep the movement on the boil. Everywhere we went across Queensland, we saw Lock the Gate, No Coal Seam Gas and Vote One Green signs. We all know that we're the good guys in this battle. The evidence is everywhere about the terrible destruction that CSG and fracking causes, not only in Queensland, but overseas where the industry has been in production for over a decade. We definitely need to be informed, united and stand together in a massive show of people's strength. I'd like to finish up by leaving you with this one thought. When one person stands alone, there's a limit to what they can achieve. But when that one person stands with many others, what they can achieve together is limitless. Thank you very much.